Is it expensive to eat in Barcelona? This question was asked on Google, it was asked on Reddit, it was asked on Quora. So we're gonna answer that question today. What's up, travelers? Welcome to the Expanderless channel. Today we are here in Barcelona, and today we're going on the ultimate Spanish food tour. I'm super excited. So we're meeting up with our friend Noah, who's going to guide us along this food tour. He's going to teach us all about Catalan cuisine and what that consists of. The first restaurant we are going to visit is in the Barceloneta area. Barceloneta is right next to the beach, so it can be filled with a lot of different tourist type of restaurants that are kind of expensive and not really authentic. So make sure you do your research, do your due diligence on these restaurants before you visit them. I will be sure to put all the restaurants we visit in the description below, as well as a couple of restaurants recommended by the locals here. So without further ado, let's go.
So we are here in the Vaso de Oro, which means golden glass in Spanish, because they have one of the best beer in Barcelona. They produce their own beer. We have a few classic tapas. So we have the croquetas, which are made of chicken and bechamel sauce. Then they are rolled in breadcrumb and fried. It's a very typical dish in Barcelona. They have chicken ones, fish one, or beef ones.
This is nice and crunchy.
The star of the show, croquettes. Crunchy, cheesy, creamy, savory, delicious. You make sure they have cooled before putting them in your mouth. The inside is like lava if you eat them too quickly.
We have the Russian salad, which is a mixture between vegetable, tuna, and mayonnaise. And they usually serve it with pieces of bread.
This dish was extremely similar to tuna salad.
Then we have the tomato bread, pa amb tomàquet in Catalan, which is perhaps the most typical gastronomic product of Catalonia. So slices of bread, then they cut the tomato and they just brush it on the bread, and a very good olive oil on top.
Since traveling, I've come to realize the importance of a good quality olive oil. In many dishes throughout Italy, France, Spain, and I'm sure plenty of other countries, it is used not so much as a deglazing option, but as a flavoring component.
And the last one is pimiento del padrón. These are little green peppers. They are fried, and then on top of it they put sea salt. One or two of the pimiento could be very spicy, so every time you eat one,
Russian roulette.
it's the kind of Russian roulette, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we never got a spicy pepper, which wasn't super surprising. Since traveling throughout a couple of European countries, I've noticed that many countries don't eat a lot of spicy foods. Even when a product is labeled as spicy in the EU, it always seems to have some sort of sweetening component in it. We spent a total of $26.90, which included 3 beers and 4 different tapas.
We are on our way to our second tapas location, which will be slightly more expensive than the first location, but for a good reason. Because of Barcelona's location, seafood is one of the pillars of Spanish gastronomy. You'll find a ton of dishes with shrimp, mussels, clams, and unfortunately, I can't try any of them. It all started the day that I was born. A curse was put on my gastrointestinal system.
She's allergic to shrimp.
I'm allergic to shrimp. Because of that reason, DJ will be trying most of the dishes that have any type of shellfish, in them.
Can Maño has been in the Barceloneta area for many years, and they are known for their seafood tapas. We got a plate of prawns, fried anchovies, and fried squid. Everything that we ate was super fresh. Their fish and squid were fried to a perfect crisp, but it didn't feel too heavy. Each of these dishes cost around $8 to $9, and we ended up spending about $43 here, which included the tapas and a bottle of wine.
Tapas are smaller dishes that you will find in many restaurants in the city of Barcelona. Because they are usually the size of an appetizer, it kind of makes sense for them to be a little less expensive than, say, a lunch dish or a dinner dish. for that reason, I wanted to check out a couple of different restaurants to see how much the price can vary for a typical lunch or dinner dish. So we are on our way to Estevet, which is a pretty moderately priced restaurant that is pretty authentic here in Catalonia. And we'll be trying a few authentic dishes there as well. We're gonna try a couple different things. Some things that are traditional and a couple of things that are kind of like their modern take on a traditional dish.
We decided to order a pitcher of sangria to go along with our food.
So there was a time that I went to church service on campus. I went one day, they always had really good Bible studies, so that was why I used to go. I went one time and they're like, oh, we're gonna do communion. Aisle by aisle, you go around and we'll give you your communion.
Like individually?
Individually, yes, but that's not the problem. So they had like a loaf of bread. So you would go around and you got your bread, but then you had to dip your bread in the wine and it tasted kind of like a sangria. So like you just dipped it in, so now you're eating, and it wasn't toasted bread. So whereas like, I feel like,
Soggy bread!
yeah, so I feel like if you dip this in, that would work because it'd be like bread and like a kind of hard wine. It'd be kind of like putting grape jelly. It was like super soggy. I was almost sick. I'm like, who decided this?
We're gonna try the empedrat now. It's basically fresh white beans, tomatoes, onions, egg, and olive. Very Mediterranean style dish. Yeah, that is really good. Super fresh. A bite of summertime in the fall. A nice light dish to start.
The cannelloni.
This is the cannelloni. First off, can we talk about the smell? It smells delicious, really.
Uh-huh.
There is kind of a story to this one. This is something that's usually eaten around Christmas Eve time. So
Wait, why?
they use their leftovers. They put it kind of in this lasagna wrap with some cheese, and that's kind of how they use their leftovers. And so this would contain a lot of different types of meat, basically depending on what they need for Christmas or Christmas Eve.
So in America, this would be turkey.
Probably, yeah. Right now, I believe this is food with tuna. Basically, this is like a blanket of cheese and pasta. But Barcelona in particular has a lot of French influence. So, well, French and Italian influence.
Me and my husband constantly have this ongoing debate about who is the most adventurous eater. Well, this next dish was another opportunity to test that out. We ordered brains. Yes, I said brains. We're not quite sure what animal this brain is from, but we believe it's from some type of fish.
So we're about to try the brains now.
Bring me the brains. Bring me the brains.
I think this is our first, both of our first time having brains. You ready to have your brains blown?
Yeah, we should have came here on Halloween.
Oh, it's like really soft.
Oh, softer than I expected. Okay, it doesn't taste bad, but it is very soft.
Very soft. It's almost like a cream.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it should be fried. Like it seems like it should be like smothered on something. I don't know how to explain it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I don't know if I like this that much.
The worst part is, the taste is actually good.
To me, it has like a fish taste to it.
Yeah, it does. Which is why I feel like I would like it. But the texture is too soft.
Once you get past the texture, like the taste itself is good.
The taste is, the thing is, I am a texture eater.
I know what you mean. Like, in my brain, once I get past the fact that this is the texture of it, I feel like a lot of times I can eat it.
Yeah, I can't.
This is a very soft.
The thing is,
like creamy.
It's like if you bit into a mozzarella cheese stick and the cheese is too soft. Like, I can't eat that either. And that's what this is like. I feel like though, if you put this on something else, it'd be great.
It's like almost like butter.
Yeah.
How soft it is.
That's why I thought it would go well with the bread.
Yeah.
But you almost have to smear it. Well, we know we're not zombies.
Okay, so last we have the veal with mushrooms. Has kind of like a gravy on it, it looks like. Ooh. It's almost like a stew, like beef stew.
That's pretty good.
I like that.
Taking some mushrooms.
I love mushrooms, y'all. Now this is comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna need a nap after this.
Remember to subscribe.
Remember to subscribe to my channel, please. And thank you. And like. Please. And thank you.
For an appetizer, a half portion of brains, 2 entrees, and 2 half portions of dessert. The total came to €71.60, which I wouldn't consider to be super expensive considering everything we purchased.
Spain has a pretty diverse terrain. There's mountain ranges, coastlines, farm grounds, and together they provide a wide variety of fresh produce. Fresh fruits and vegetables are commonly used whether the dish is low priced or expensive. We're on our way to the Hotel Mercer not only to experience high quality cuisine, but to get a taste of fresh, high quality ingredients.
We were invited to Hotel Mercer in the Gothic quarter of Barcelona by Chef Xavi, who demonstrates a lovely dish for us today. He starts by seasoning all parts of this hefty piece of veal steak with salt. He adds it to a hot pan on high heat and drizzles some olive oil. It's then going to sear on both sides. You want a decently nice crust on this steak. He adds a few figs for additional sweetness and bastes the steak with the butter and figs. He removes the figs because you don't want to leave the figs on the stove for too long, because not only do the figs add flavor to the steak, but you can also eat the figs as a side dish. He does the same with the blueberry, being sure not to overcook them. He then places it in the oven for an additional 5 to 6 minutes to further cook the inside of the steak. While that's in the oven, he makes a super simple delicious sauce. To the same pan, add wine and beef stock, and let that cook for a couple of minutes on low heat. To a plate, he adds zucchini, our steak from the oven, mushrooms, figs, blueberries. He also added some green herbs and a few floral garnishes, but I didn't quite get the name of what they were called. If you do know the name of these 2 garnishes, please be sure to leave them in the comments. He tops that off with some rosemary, and voila! In true fine dining style, this beautiful, elegant dish was presented to our table.
The dish itself is just extremely fresh, and we're so excited to try it. Ooh. Because there are so many herbs in the dish, like all of that freshness is like exploding in your mouth. The rosemary you can definitely taste in the steak. You have to get a little bite of everything, of the blueberry, of the figs, of the zucchini. And all of those different things have different flavors that add on to the dish. Make sure you visit here. The food is delicious. So we're on our way to a restaurant called Petit Comitè by Gauche, which takes a more modern approach on Catalan cuisine. This is more of a fine dining restaurant. And I'm gonna see how a more expensive, modernized restaurant compares to an authentic Catalan restaurant.
We were given a complimentary appetizer that the chef was testing out, which was baby corn with a thin slice of barbecue sea bass.
That's good.
And grilled baby
That's
corn
really
has
good.
all the benefits of grilled regular corn, except that you don't have to deal with the kernels or get stuff stuck in your teeth.
That's it. Really good. Very fresh.
Your dining experience includes a soup, which changes depending on the season. This was a pumpkin soup, which was befitting for the fall.
So comforting. Savory and sweet. Oh, that goat cheese. We have some bread with tomato, which is a traditional dish here in Barcelona. And we have some anchovies, which is also pretty traditional considering the fact that we are close to the coastline. So we're gonna try that. Has a nice salty taste to it.
That's the anchovy.
This bread is so crunchy.
Paella is pretty popular here in Barcelona, so we knew we had to try that. This was a pigeon and boletus paella. Boletus is mushrooms.
That rice is really nice.
Alright, now for the pigeon. I don't agree that it tastes like chicken at all.
It doesn't. It doesn't taste like one. It's very soft, and that could be just the way that they cooked it. But
It also seems like a red meat.
yeah, it seems very much like a red meal. Personally, I actually really like this.
And with the mushrooms, that works really
yeah,
well.
it really does. Like, you know, taking a traditional classic dish. You know, he said this dish has been how long?
They've been making the rice for 30 years.
Yeah, they've been making this dish for 30 years.
The pigeon is like if chicken and steak kind of came together.
Baby.
Because it's got the flavor of chicken, kind of, but the texture is definitely more of like a regular
steak.
meat.
Yeah.
And you can find this in any city in the world. You just gotta be a little bit quick. What?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
We ended our journey with crema Catalonia, which is very similar to creme brulee and is a pretty popular dessert here in Barcelona. Unfortunately, I didn't get a shot of us trying it, but this was the best dessert I had tasted throughout our entire journey of this Barcelona tour. The total cost of this dining experience was €90 and 20 cents. We did only get one entree for this restaurant, but I still think it was decently priced considering how delicious everything was.
So, the ultimate question, is food in Barcelona expensive? In general, I have to say it's pretty moderately priced. It's not as cheap as, say, Naples, Italy, where you can get a pizza for literally $5. But it's also not expensive as a lot of places in the US. This is going to depend on a couple different factors. Where is it located? Are there a lot of tourists around? If there's a lot of tourists around, usually the restaurants it's going to be more expensive. But if you're looking for authentic Catalan cuisine, there's definitely inexpensive places to eat here in Barcelona. Please make sure to like and comment and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next time.